What is up, guys? Your boy Ren here today with another news video, and today we're going to talk about the V cards again. So I said that in yesterday's video that we're going to talk about, well, Zacian Zamazenta V cards, because they are quite interesting if you ask me. Like, they are one of those cards that, well, definitely going to find themselves in a tier 1 deck, or maybe that's, those are the cards that are going to put metal type finally there as, an aggressive type, not really a stall type of deck. So let's start with Zamazenta. That's the card, and let's read it. So first things first, we all know Zamazenta, but we finally know the type, which is a metal type, 230 HP, and the ability is honestly, it's quite cool, because it says Dauntless Shield, which it does. Prevent all damage done to this Pokemon by attacks from your opponent's Pokemon V Max. So if your opponent has a V Max Pokemon, not a V card, V Max, right? So Gigantamax or Dynamax, it doesn't do anything to our Zamazenta. And this attack is to Metal type 1 whatever with Assault, tackle 130, discard a special energy from your opponent's active Pokemon. Quite interesting card, I'm curious if we're gonna see a VMAX version of it. I mean, we haven't seen it in game at all, and we know in game it doesn't have a Dynamax, but maybe in the TCG they're gonna do something like that, right? So they will not leave all the V cards bare bones and only being Vs, but it might also be that we will not see the VMAX version. Now let's take a look at Zacian, which I think it's far superior, and this is Zacian is the card that puts this this deck, metal type in general, they're like at the top when it comes out. This is the card. It looks gorgeous. Let me tell you, the card looks gorgeous. Another metal type, 220 HP this time, and the ability of Interpaid Sword, definitely one of the cool ones, which is once during your turn you may look at the top 3 cards of your deck and attach a number of metal type energy cards you find there to this Pokemon, right? So it fuels itself. Put the other cards into your hand, so this is literally a free draw of 3 cards. If you use this ability, your turn ends. That is, something that you might be like, oh, it's bad, the turn ends. Not necessarily. Remember, you can't play supporters if you go first, so the fact that your turn ends, it's a-okay, because this is it's your first turn, and for the first turn this ability is really good, because people, I think people keep forgetting about the rule change, right? And it's like, oh, there's like a rotten bike, it's bad because it ends turn, it's an item. No, it's not. It's actually quite good, because again, you can't play supporters, so this is something that you would do, right? You can't attack, can't play supporter. Well, I might as well do something and end my turn. Definitely a great card. With the Brave Blade, which is 230 attack, this is 330 damage, 230, sorry, 3 metal type energies, and this has the same text as Reshizard, for example. During your next turn, this opponent can't attack. So let's think about this for a second. We have a lot of attachment that can happen to the metal type. We will have a brand new card, which I'm going to talk about in a second. We have this ability, so during your turn 2 you actually can pull off this attack. With Metal Frying Pan still being in the format, we get rid of weakness, and we do add minus 30 damage that Pokemon your opponent can do to you, which also puts it below what cards like Reshizard can do to you, right? Because with Metal Frying Pan, with 230, they're gonna do 210 damage. They are not gonna one-shot it, and we don't know if this is gonna have a V Max. If this is gonna have a V Max, that's gonna be really interesting, and I want to see. I do want to see the V Max of Zacian Zamazenta, especially knowing that, well, there's a Dark patch, there's an Aqua patch, right? But they are now in expanded. So, well, you've guessed, we got a Metal Soaker. That's, I think, how it's called. That's how the card looks like. And what it does is attach a metal type energy card from your discard pile to one of your benched Pokemon. So in your first turn, you might actually play something like Great Catcher. You might play something that will discard stuff from your hand, and maybe the Dene, right? That discards the energy. So you attach one from your hand, one from Metal Saucer, maybe 2, because that's an item. You can attach 2 energies because you have 2 in a discard pile, and you use the ability You might hit, you may not, but you still draw cards. Let's say you hit, you attach the energy, and your Zacian is ready to go on turn 2, which is quite cool, and if you go second, you can actually pull this off, during your turn 1, if you have a strategy around that. So definitely nice. And I never thought I'm gonna say that, but I do start to like Metal type, especially with those 2 cards. If they're gonna have VMAXs, this is gonna be a little bit too far, I believe. But this is gonna. Do you see? That's the thing. I think VMAX is gonna be too far for those 2 cards, but I also do think that VMAX is what Metal type needs. In after looking at those 2 cards, there has to be VMAX of one of them, definitely, because Metal type is a stall type. Of course, we know that, but we need it to be more aggressive. We need it to be more attacking. We need to more attack more, and to be quite honest, I want it to be more aggressive, right? And this might be the thing, right? Those 2 cards might be the thing, and VMAX would put that there, especially right now that the fire type is dominating. We need other types to shine, right? For the past 2 years, we had dark type, we had electric type, lightning type, we've got fire type, and those were the types that were kind of dominating the last 2 years, right? The Zoroark, Tapu Koko, and Pikarom, Zapdos, Reshazad, right? Okay, Psychic you might also add with Malamar, but all the others, well, they were there, right? Guardian was there at some point, but kind of vanished a little bit. Not everyone's playing it. Dragon type slowly getting some love now. But the other, I'm missing the others, right? Now, I would love to see Water type being strong, honestly, all of that stuff. So definitely, step in the right direction. We'll see how it goes. So guys, I want to hear your opinion on those 2 cards. Let me know what do you think about them. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Down there below, 5% discount, any code with purchase on Professor O. Goodbye, mwah, and good night. Bye. Love ya.